Hey, everybody, this episode of the What Are We Watching podcast is brought to you by Pop Life.
Yeah, Colin turns on the TV, Christian flips off the screen, cause there's no good children's shows that he's seen. We've got dogs with blogs, superheroes in the ER. All dads are dumb and kids have better PR. Colin just smile, Christian sits with the scowl. He complains to his son, all the kids show suck now. They sit and discuss the show's plus and minuses while you listen or watch on YouTube to the arguments. Who is right? Is it the son or the dad? Either way you get to laugh knowing Christian is mad. So pull up a chair, get the corner poppin'. Here's a new episode of What Are We Watching?
Hey guys, if you don't know poplife.com, then you don't know great t-shirts. They are the best t-shirts for dads. They've sponsored all of our podcasts, they sponsor our website, and they are even involved in summerofgiveaways.com. That's right, you can actually win a Pop Life t-shirt from summerofgiveaways.com. So check out two links. Go to summerofgiveaways.com, sign up to win your own Pop Life t-shirt. But more importantly, go to poplife.com. They have great t-shirts. My wife is pregnant. She's about to have a baby in 2 months. I am going to be sporting a Pop Life t-shirt that says, I make adorable babies. Because doesn't this mug look like it would make adorable babies? No? Well, if you're just listening to the audio version of the podcast, feel lucky. If you're watching the video version, just play along and pretend, hey, I'd like to think I make adorable babies. At least with a Pop Life shirt, I can look adorable myself. So check out poplife.com and try to win one yourself by going to summerofgiveaways.com.
What are we watching?
Hey guys, thank you for joining us for the mini episode of the What Are We Watching podcast. This is where we discuss the last episode, and sometimes you even get a peek behind the scenes of the podcast. Right now, I am sweating like a pig because I've been busy setting up yet another new item in our beautiful studio, a new mixing board, and I am running around like crazy late at night because my son, Ollie Mack, just had his second birthday. So we have been celebrating that all day and just got through just shoveling pizza in our face. So I've got the meat sweats mixed with the legit sweats from working on the studio, and it's just been a busy day. Now, Carlin isn't with me for this mini episode for a couple reasons. One, he really doesn't need to be. Second, he is sleeping. I'll be honest. Sometimes I record some of the mini episodes while he's asleep, and that allows me to get a lot of work done, and you parents definitely understand that. Now, last week on the What Are We Watching podcast, we watched Mighty Med. Now, this is my son's favorite live-action Disney XD show. He likes it because it has superheroes. He likes it because it has, quote, humor. And he just digs the show, and I am fine with that. Do I like the show? No. Did I go crazy seeing some of my comedic heroes on that show having to deliver those lines? Yes. If I was in their place, would I do the same thing? Yes. Why wouldn't you go on a show that your kids could watch, you know is a safe thing for them to watch? It's not really risque at all. Yes, it had a Pamela Anderson joke that the kids didn't really get, but I understand it. It's a pretty clean show. Now, the storylines, they are horrid. And if you watched the episode with us, you can agree. I believe it was season 2, episode 12. Don't have it in front of me, but you can look in our show notes and watch the episode that we watched for last week's podcast. Now, this coming week, what are we watching? We're watching Kickin' It. This is the karate show for kids on the Disney Channel. Now, my son also loves the show. Actually, my son Carlin likes most shows. It's hard to disappoint the lad, and that's good and bad. It's good because he's always got something to watch. It's bad because Well, he hasn't built up a filter to know what's good and what's bad yet. That's the goal of this podcast, that I can help him and you and your kids build up that filter and go, oh my gosh, this might be a pile of hot steaming garbage. What are we watching? So next week we are watching Kicking It. Now, the link to the episode we're going to watch is going to be in the show notes below. It'll be everywhere you find our podcast, Libsyn, YouTube, PlaidDadBlog.com, where we double post, and most importantly, whatarewewatching.com. We always try to link to a YouTube episode for anybody that's cut the cord, doesn't have cable, or just doesn't have the package that has Disney, Disney XD, Nickelodeon, one of those channels. We try to do that to help you. Why do we do that? So you can give us notes on what we missed or tell us what was awesome with the show. Now, Susie Q, you sent a Twitter message to us about the episode, and you just said, you know what? I watch this show all the time with my kids, and I've always thought I hated it, but I couldn't really put my finger on why. You nailed it, Christian Lee. Thank you, Susie. We appreciate that note, and I appreciate you now being able to just dive down deep inside you and see, oh yeah, this is why I loathe this thing my children like. Now, I think it was Johnny Z who said, I just hate the laugh track. I get what you're saying, Johnny. I get what you're saying. I hate the laugh track too. But there are shows that use it successfully. Now, you remember all the shows from the 70s and 80s that used to start out with, this is filmed before a live studio audience. That's awesome. And it's great to have them filmed in front of a live audience. But sometimes a laugh track works. My favorite show that I always reference with laugh tracks is MASH 4007. I love 4077. What am I saying? Oh my gosh, I am getting my MASH card revoked. MASH had a laugh track. Okay, it was great. It was filmed on location in the foothills in California, and they really couldn't have an audience there every time, so they put in a laugh track. I've since watched MASH with the laugh track ripped out, and it just isn't the same. It's not funny. It's not good. But when a show has such moments of poignancy and humor, and it bounces back and forth, it does help to kind of accentuate the levity. Kind of like a little rim shot. That's a horrible example because rim shots are so cheesy, but that is what happened with that particular show. And I'm going to say that MASH benefited from the soundtrack, from the laugh track. Now, a lot of kids that are watching this mini episode have clicked out. They're like, what's MASH? You could watch MASH when you get a couple years older. It is great. It's a great experience. And right now it's all on Netflix. So if you didn't know that, parents, check it out. Now, who was it? It was the host of the Life of Dad podcast I was recently interviewed for. I'm also going to put that link below. I talk about my son Carlin and I setting up this podcast, why we got into it, and some of the other awesome things Carlin does, like drawing comics at foreverfamilycomic.com. You can check that out. Link, of course, below. But one of the hosts of the Life of Dad podcast, his comment was that CJ, Carlin Jackson, is really starting to hold his own, and I am agreeing with that. My son is starting to hold his own. He kind of picked up some great points with Mighty Med this past week, and if you don't believe it, well, watch the episode because you would have noted that. My kid is smart. He's just getting used to being on the microphone and kind of going at Dad back and forth and not going, is this going to get me in trouble? What's going to happen if I say no to my dad or that I don't like that? So it's a fun thing to do with my son. Now, one segment we are going to start doing every week on the mini episode is, would it be better if it was animated? Would Mighty Med be better if it was animated? And I am going to say 100% yes. I just did a Bill Clinton symbol with my thumb. Talk about inappropriate. Yes. Yes, it would be better animated. Yes, it would definitely be better animated because they could show superpowers. That's one of the main problems with the show is they don't show superheroes and using their superpowers. You don't see guys flying around. You don't see a lot of rays being shot out of eyes. They can only afford a couple shots of special effects in each episode, especially if they want it to look halfway decent. If it was animated, they could do so much. Maybe when the kids go to the Mighty Med Hospital and the portal door, it takes them to another planet. It takes them to outer space. It takes them somewhere other than Earth. This would be really, really plausible and explain all of the superheroes and all of the aliens. And aliens, they could also have more aliens on the show. Of course it would be better animated. This is a perfect show to animate. Maybe the boss, instead of just being the nerdy boss who's mean but nerdy, but then says funny things, ha ha ha, laugh track, maybe he could be an actual robot. Maybe he could be an alien. Maybe he could be a maniacal overlord with a cartoon cat that he strokes. I don't know. There could be a lot of things that happen in this show that they could animate. It would be awesome. Maybe it takes place in the center of the earth, and that's why we don't normally see superheroes. Who knows? But to answer, would it be better animated? I think it's a resounding yes. You've got to agree. If you disagree, drop a note in the comments below. I would love to hear your argument and then talk about why you are wrong. So next week, be sure to watch before you listen to the podcast to Kicking It. Link below to the episode on YouTube or Vimeo, wherever we can find it. And watch the episode with your kid. Just really get into it, laugh with them, talk about what you hated about the show. Maybe you love the show Kicking It. Maybe you're a karate expert. And if you are, I cannot imagine you liking the show. And once you watch the show, come back and listen to the What Are We Watching podcast with you and your kid, your significant other. Just have a good time with us at What Are We Watching. Thank you again for listening to this mini episode. Remember to check out poplife.com, POPLYFE.com, and go to summerofgiveaways.com. Not only could you win a Pop Life shirt, you can win a lot of other awesome prizes, like my favorite endorsed product, the Mighty Mug. We also have Entourage soundtracks. Talk about inappropriate for this podcast. We have iTunes gift cards. We have tons of awesome gifts to give away this summer at summerofgiveaways.com. Thank you for checking out our sponsors. And as always, thank you for coming back and listening to whatareWeWatching.com. Now let's go watch something good, huh?
Just click subscribe, dude. It's not that hard.
This production is brought to you by the Plaid Dad Blog Podcast Network. For more information, visit plaiddadblog.com.